Greetings, wise ones. Nowadays, it's relatively easy to see actors such as Neil Patrick Harris or Jim Parsons coming out of the closet. But not so long ago, in the so-called golden age of cinema, actors had to be alpha males, virile and, of course, known as the lovers of hundreds of women. However, many of these performers were actually gay, and they had to hide it. Now, if you believe in freedoms and that no one should have to hide who they are, subscribe to this channel. Do it now. You'll prove that besides being in favor of human rights, you're someone who's already wise and only wants to be wiser still. And now, without further ado, let the show begin. Rock Hudson. This legendary performer of films like Pillow Talk, Lover Come Back, and especially his big hit, Giant, represented the classic male stereotype that Hollywood wanted to sell us in the 1950s and 1960s. A handsome, virile, and brave man. No one even suspected that he might actually be gay. Everyone thought he was just another Hugh Hefner in the world. But no, in reality, Rock routinely slept next to his teddy bears, the famous hairy males and attractive men. Unfortunately, the movie industry that praised him up so much ended up turning its back on him in the 80s, and only because of his sexual orientation. He contracted AIDS, which was so widespread around the world in those years, and he ended up leaving us at the age of 59 in 1985. Curiously, he became one of the first icons of the LGBT collective, while he was despised by all those who for years had told him how handsome and what a great actor he was. That's one of the reasons why many performers, even today, find it so difficult to come out of the closet. Cary Grant, a practically unforgettable actor who will remain forever in our hearts for his incredible talent and legendary films such as Walk, Don't Run, To Catch a Thief, Notorious, or Charade. The British-born, naturalized American and later a loyal supporter of the Republican Party lived a completely secret gay life, hidden from the eyes of the rest of Hollywood. The winner of an honorary Oscar for his career achievements in 1970 had a gay relationship that we didn't know about until after his death in 1986. He married 5 different women and sired a daughter, but it was all a setup to create an image of a virile man, something that was deemed necessary for such a highly paid and highly regarded actor of the 60s. Grant had actually fallen in love with his fellow actor Randolph Scott, whom he met in 1932 on the set of the movie Hot Saturday. Years after his death, several photos were published of the couple at Cary Grant's Malibu mansion, where they lived a very sentimental life. Until 1934, that is, when Paramount Studios forced him to marry Virginia Cherrill to silence those early rumors of his homosexuality. This first marriage only lasted 13 months, and after the divorce, Grant returned to Randolph, whom many consider that he was the only person he ever really loved. In 1940, they broke off the relationship again due to pressure from the movie studios, but they continued to see each other secretly. In fact, the maitre d' of the Beverly Hillcrest Hotel revealed that on several occasions he saw the couple holding hands, and that was in the 1970s. Anthony Perkins, known mainly for one role, but oof, what a role, ladies and gentlemen, that of the unforgettable Norman Bates, the psychopath in Alfred Hitchcock's mythical film Psycho. A character that, curiously, he played so well because he had certain kinships with him in real life. Perkins had a very complicated life, and he usually confronted his mother because they had no chemistry, and that made him focus on men, since he'd been a young man, in fact. Men who showed him more affection and friendship than women ever did. In 1964, he even turned down a sentimental proposal from the French sex kitten Brigitte Bardot after they worked together in the French film An Adorable Idiot. Perkins turned her down because he actually preferred the macho men of show business, such as the aforementioned Rock Hudson, or Tab Hunter, the eternal supporting actor in big movies, or even the legendary Grover Dale. Curiously, he was later convinced by the industry that he should be much more masculine, and so he attended the famous courses to cure his homosexuality. He disowned his condition, and at the age of 39, he slept for the first time with a woman, the actress Victoria Principal. Years later, he married the photographer Barry Berenson, but the itch of youth bit him again, and he continued to sleep with men, while his faithful wife indulged him. He died aged 60 in 1992 of complications from AIDS. Marlon Brando. Yes, friends, the completely manly image of Emperor Mark Antony in Julius Caesar, Officer Lloyd Groover in Sayonara, or the legendary Don Vito Corleone in The Godfather. He was also a faithful lover of hunky and attractive men. He began to attract the attention of many males after his first successful movie, the mythical A Streetcar Named Desire, in 1951. And there, the actor who played the character of Stanley Kowalski showed off his rolled-up shirts and rippling muscle with all those erotic and sensual poses that thrilled hundreds of males who duly fell at Brando's feet. The winner of 2 Academy Award Oscars had already said in 1976 that he had enjoyed a homosexual relationship. But it was Michael Jackson's legendary music producer, Quincy Jones, who finally unmasked the reality of this mythical actor. Quincy assured everyone that Marlon was totally untied, and that he liked women, yes, but he also very much liked men. James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, and even the legendary singer of Let's Get It On, Marvin Gaye, were some of the lucky men to enjoy Brando's company on his private island in the Pacific. But out of all of them, there was one with whom he had a particularly intense relationship. We're talking about James Dean. Yes, James Dean, possibly the talent that never was, but who became a myth when he died at only 24 years old. Known for East of Eden, Giant, and Rebel Without a Cause, this actor became one of Hollywood's biggest icons, even though he only shot those 3 films in his short career. But he also had an incredibly intense relationship with Brando. There were out-of-the-ordinary practices, like Dean asking Brando to burn cigarettes for him, or seeing the future Vito Corleone humiliate him by taking him out of the house without any clothes on, so that he would be cold. All this was commonplace, perhaps, for actors who say they like boys, but perhaps it also helped them to land roles in Hollywood and stay on the wheel of success and money. But James Dean didn't spend his whole life hiding in the closet, not like our last protagonist, John Travolta. Now, did you think the Saturday Night Fever star's miniature kiss was clickbait? No, folks. John Travolta is one of the biggest gays in the movie industry, someone who has never wanted to come out of the closet. Despite being married for 27 years to actress Kelly Preston, John was caught kissing a man in 2006, a man who was a pilot. The truth is that the interpreter of Pulp Fiction and fan of plastic surgery likes pilots. Why, in the 80s, another pilot, Doug Gottuba, assured us that he had enjoyed a gay relationship with Travolta. However, someone else who recently unmasked the great actor and dancer is the former member of the Church of Scientology, Mike Rinder. We have to remember that Travolta paid tribute to this strange cult. For dozens of years, it was even said that John and Tom Cruise, another high-profile member of the church, had been more than lovers, something that was even parodied in an episode of the legendary animated series South Park. Rinder, he was the figure who advised Travolta for years in the church, and he now says that he saw John kissing his masseur, wearing very little clothing in the hotel room they shared, and that he has proof of it. Curiously, the Church of Scientology is opposed to homosexuality, which would denote, according to Mr. Rinder, a clear hypocrisy on the part of the actor. Well, isn't that surprising? Now, which of these examples surprised you most? Let us know in the comments, friends, and we will of course see you in the next show.